Kayla, and welcome back to Love Tangle. Last time we got saucy in the med room with Paul, and this time I know for sure it's going to be Timo's time to shine, so let's see what happens. Timo and Paul, main story, chapter 3. Yes, I'm leisurely starting my morning on the first day of a 2-day vacation when I hear a light knock on my door. Who could it be at this hour?
Kayla, do you have a minute?
It's Paul? Just a second. Several days passed since Paul moved into Lilac Court. I forgot he lives with us. Although he sure caused a fuss at his first night here, I've barely seen him around since. Come to think of it, this is his first time visiting my room. I open the door to find Paul carrying an armload of research materials.
Morning. You've got the next 2 days off, right?
Yes, that's right.
Make sure you rest up. I'm sure you're tired from moving and starting a new job, and that leopard's care is waiting for the moment you return.
The same goes for you. You're looking after it full-time on top of examining other animals, and leopards aren't even your specialty.
Don't worry, I've got plenty of strength in me.
Still, you don't want to overwork yourself. He's just trying to be nice, isn't he? After all, we're on the same team caring for the same leopard.
Do you have any plans during your time off?
Nope. Like you've pointed out, not only have I just moved, my new job is starting out really busy. My plan is to spend these 2 days recharging my energy.
Good. Think you'll have some time to do some reading?
Are you kidding me? I'm a researcher. Reading is part of my daily routine. I imagine it'll be the same with you, right?
Great. Then add these to your reading list.
Sure. What are they? My eyes grow wide in surprise as I glance over at the materials. References for surgery and related care, medical histories from similar species at other facilities, and lots of them. When did you have time to collect them all? You would have had to directly contact the attending surgeons to obtain data like this, right?
What can I say? I have a lot of friends and acquaintances.
Still, I can't believe you managed to gather all of this in such a short time. Amazing. Stop wasting your time worrying about me. It looks like you haven't been resting at all. I know Paul's an excellent researcher, but I never realized how passionate he is about his work.
No need for concern. One glance at you and I'm ready to take on the day.
Paul flashes me an enthusiastic smile. Oh, Paul.
Well, I'd better get going. Make sure you rest up during your time off.
But it sounds like you could use my help.
No, you'll be helping plenty during and after the surgery. Take advantage of your time off.
Paul's not one to change his mind once it's set. I guess I'll just have to stick with the reading. Sure, you're right, Paul. Have a good day. I send off my longtime friend, this now esteemed veterinarian, with a smile. Oh, I love the backyard so much. After seeing Paul off, I take a short break in the garden before tackling the pile of reading he left for me. Lilac Court's garden is almost big enough to be considered a park. I find it hard to believe I'm living in such a luxurious surrounding. Once again, I feel grateful to Mr. C for allowing me to come live in this wonderful apartment. As I walk around, I find Cody playing with Lucas in the backyard. Lucas is a very amiable golden retriever and practically an icon here at Lilac Court. I recall the Gray brothers mentioning they're in charge of taking Lucas for walks.
Good morning, Kayla. You're up early today? Off to work?
No, I've got the day off today. I thought I'd just take a little walk.
Well, it's a great morning to be out in the yard, right, Lucas? Arf! See? Even Lucas loves it being out here.
Wow, he sure seems to enjoy playing with you. Lucas's normally well-groomed fur coat is completely disheveled and covered in mud. He's dancing in circles around Cody, begging for him to continue playing. Just then...
Hey, Cody, come here for a second. Oh, good morning, Kayla. I didn't realize you were out here as well.
Carlo comes striding into the backyard, apparently looking for Cody. Good morning, Carlo.
Morning, Carlo. Were you looking for me at this hour? Yeah, didn't you say you have the day off? Well, Mr. C says there's a party tonight, so don't go anywhere. That goes for you too, Kayla.
A party? What's it for?
What do you expect? It's a welcoming party.
A welcoming party? But Paul and I already had ours. Oh, does that mean it could be Timo?
Yeah, it turns out someone new is moving in today. According to Mr. C, it all happened kind of suddenly.
I'll say. I wonder who it could be. I can't wait to find out.
Mr. C said everyone should be quite surprised, so my guess it's someone famous. Whoever it is, they caught Mr. C's attention, which means he probably twisted their arm a bit to get them to move in.
He's done a pretty good job of filling this place with some big names. I'm fascinated to find out what kind of celebrity our new neighbor is. However, what's going on here? When I show up to greet my new neighbor, I find myself staring in surprise. I'm so excited. I can't believe it, you guys.
Mr. Chrysler convinced me to move in, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me from now on.
Thank goodness. Wait, you're our new neighbor? It's early afternoon. Everyone else at Lilac Court is out eating and shopping, leaving me all alone. When I show up at the entrance, I find Timo standing there.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, not at all. I'm just quite surprised. We were never told who was moving in.
I see.
When Timo curtly nods back, I quickly add, I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to learn that you're the one moving in. Although Timo's hard to get along with, I respect him as a coworker. Finding out he's going to be my new neighbor is great news. Maybe we can discuss work here at home now. It dawns on me that if Joy had heard me just now, she'd probably call me a workaholic. I'm excited to learn that you're the one moving in. I announce with a smile and Timo frowns back at me.
You're a strange one.
A moment later, he turns his head away and I notice his cheeks look faintly red. Is he blushing? I stare at him in surprise. I know he's not much for conversation. Perhaps he has difficulty expressing his emotions too. It's almost a little bit charming. I can't help but smile. Is this Timo's room? True to his word, Timo has surprisingly few possessions with him. It looks so cool. It turns out my help was practically unnecessary. A majority of his belongings are comprised of books. His bookshelves are lined with titles any zoology researcher would find irresistible. Wow, this book looks quite old. Oh, and I've been curious about this one, but haven't convinced myself to buy it yet.
Do you like books?
Your collection's fantastic. There's not a single title here that I wouldn't enjoy reading.
You're welcome to borrow them.
Really?
Sure, anytime, day or night.
Talk about lucky. Thank you, Timo. I excitedly blurt out without thinking.
Relax, they're just books.
His remark is as blunt as ever, but I wonder if he doesn't sound a bit more amiable than usual. Oh, I know. If you're done putting things away, why don't I show you around Lilac Court? It's a pretty big place.
Didn't you move in just a few days ago yourself?
I may not be familiar with every nook and cranny, but I can show you the most important rooms. Timo thinks it was the best choice. Oh yeah. Just then, someone pokes his head in the door, which we had left open while we were moving Timo's belongings. It's Carlo.
Excuse me, mind if I cut in?
Carlo, you're back.
Yep, just walked in the door.
Carlo nods and glances over at Timo. He doesn't appear all that surprised to discover Timo is our new neighbor.
Hey, Timo. I see Mr. C's attempts to convince you during Paul's welcoming party worked after all. What can I say? This place seems quite pleasant. I guarantee you made the right choice.
Carlo replies with a wink.
By the way, since Lilac Court's a pretty big place, I brought you a little hand-drawn map of it. But as long as Kayla's here, maybe I should keep it?
No, hand it over. I was actually just about to show Timo around the place if he's willing, but since I only just moved in myself, your map will come in handy.
Oh yeah? I'm glad to hear it. I'll write you two. I'll see you later tonight at the party.
Carlo hands me the map, then heads off. Carlo sure is considerate. He doesn't even appear to be bothered by Timo's brusque nature. Everyone here is so accommodating. I'm sure they'll have no problem welcoming Timo, even if he's a difficult person. I glance up at Timo for a moment. He might be a bit awkward socially, but he's someone they'll all value getting to know.
Huh?
Nothing. Shall we put Carlo's map to use and take a look around Lilac Court? I start walking without waiting for an answer. Let's see. I thought I'd start by showing you the library, but since the gym's on the way, why don't I show you that first? After all, you might want to exercise once in a while.
Exercise is pointless.
Still, you need to keep your stamina up in order to work hard.
Are you trying to convince me it's not a waste of time?
Yep, exactly.
Being a researcher does require some stamina. I won't argue with that. Take Morgan, for example.
Paul, what about him?
No matter what time I arrive at the lab, he's always there. I'm beginning to think he sleeps there. Which begs the question, how long can his stamina hold out? It'd be a pain if he collapsed just before the big surgery.
He stopped by my room this morning and brought me some research materials, so I suspect he's at least coming home at night. Although, I agree he shouldn't overwork himself. Okay, and now we are at a checkpoint. Looks like we just need a little bit more. Let's bake some. Okay, we should be good to go now. Check me. Cleared. Bring it on. I'm in the middle of my sentence when it dawns on me. Timo behaves with such apathy that all the other staff consider him hard to get along with, and yet I get the feeling he's rather concerned about Paul. Thinking it strange, I feel compelled to ask Timo. Are you worried about Paul? Alright, so I'm a little curious. Are you worried about Paul?
Don't be ridiculous.
Timo mutters back. I suppose that just upset him. Feeling guilty for letting my curiosity get the better of me, I try and shrug it off.
How did you expect me to react with the two new talented people in the lab?
Two new talented people?
Do I have to explain everything? I'm talking about you and Paul. Who else could there be?
I stare back in surprise. Are you saying I've earned your attention as much as Paul has? Instead of responding, Timo's expression turns sour, and a moment later he looks away. He's such a tsundere, I love it. Is he blushing again? I might have felt hurt by his reaction if I were meeting him for the first time. However, now I know better. Thanks for the compliment. It means a lot coming from a researcher with your talent and passion. Like I mentioned, Paul stopped by this morning to drop some research materials. Living under the same roof with your coworkers seems quite handy. It makes it easier to exchange information. Now that you've moved in, I'll have 2 people I can borrow books and articles from.
That's definitely one big advantage.
I see Timo's lips curl upward. Wait, is he smiling? I blinked several times while questioning my assessment. Who could have guessed he would smile at such a casual remark?
Along with the library, I'm sure you and Morgan both have plenty of books and articles I haven't read. It's a win-win situation, all around.
I'm glad to hear you see it that way. It's true, a smile really does soothe the soul. I feel incredibly at ease all of a sudden. In fact, I'm so at ease that he almost led us right past our destination. Hold on a sec, Timo. The gym's this way. I think we should at least take a peek while we're here. I quickly stop Timo before he passes through, then show him around inside. Ooh, I don't think we've ever seen the gym before. Oh, hi, Miguel. I bet we would have, and Miguel's are out. I didn't realize you were home.
Hey Kayla, I finished up my errands and thought I would get my daily training routine out of the way. Let me see, you're Mr. Salminian, is that right?
Timo thinks it was the best choice. Miguel seems to have no trouble remembering Timo from the welcoming party the other night. That's right, starting today he's going to be living here as well.
Oh yeah? So you're our new neighbor, huh? Boy, things just keep getting more and more interesting around here. In case you've forgotten, I'm Miguel Hernandez. Welcome to Lilac Court. You're famous, how could I forget? Oh, and feel free to call me Timo. Come on now, you're starting to embarrass me. I don't suppose you're interested in working out. You too, Kayla?
Thanks, Miguel, but we're in the middle of our walkthrough of Lilac Court.
Okay then, maybe next time?
Sounds good.
Perhaps, if I feel so inclined.
Timo doesn't sound very enthusiastic about it. However, when Miguel smiles at him, he nods back. Ooh, I don't think we've seen this room either. This is Lilac Court's library. What do you think? Pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an impressive collection.
A satisfied smile rises on Timo's lips.
Is this our new neighbor?
A voice startles me. Naoki, I thought you said you were heading out.
The person I was supposed to meet had to cancel, so instead I'm trying to come up with some ideas for my next exhibition.
You are? Well, sorry for interrupting you.
No problem.
Here, let me introduce you. Naoki, this is Timo. He works at the same laboratory as I do.
Yeah, I remember him from Paul's welcoming party.
That's right, Timo, this is the famous calligrapher.
I'm Naoki Hozumi. Nice to meet you.
Come to think of it, Timo isn't one for chatting, and Naoki's pretty shy as well. Maybe they'd do better conversing over a cup of coffee or something? I don't suppose you two would like to go to the cafe. We could grab a cup of coffee and relax for a bit. Naoki and Timo both nod in agreement. When the 3 of us arrive at the cafe, Lucas is there to welcome us. Orf! He just came right up in there. He immediately comes up to greet Timo, excitedly wagging his long tail. Lucas, you'll never make a good watchdog. Welcome to Lilac Court, Timo. Joy lets out a sigh as Lucas' behavior then cheerfully greets Timo. Joy, are you back from shopping already? Yep, I just got home. I gather Timo's the new neighbor we heard rumors about? That's right.
Clever dog. Someone must have trained you well.
Timo squats down to pet Lucas, completely ignoring Joy and myself.
Golden Retrievers are one of the gentler dog breeds. They don't make good watchdogs.
Oh, is that right? Sorry about that, Lucas. Joy shrugs and smiles mischievously. Ever get accused of being overly fussy or eccentric?
I don't place a lot of importance on how other people feel about me.
I see. Well, I'm glad you're here regardless. Why don't you all have a seat and I'll make you some coffee? Thanks, Joy.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll get a warm reception from all the others at the party tonight, particularly Paul.
Unfortunately, I won't be going.
Timo responds bluntly to what sounds like an attempt on Joy's part to tease him. What? You're not going? But we always throw parties for our new neighbors. I was looking forward to it.
I was just reading a magazine article about how too many parties will make you fat. Perhaps you should consider this a blessing?
Watch your tongue, Naoki.
Why? Have I said something wrong?
Joy and Naoki glare at one another for a moment. Joy, would you like me to finish getting the coffee? Oh, no, I'll do it. I want to make sure Naoki's cup is nice and bitter. Oh. Joy holds out a cup to Timo. Newcomers first.
Thanks.
I bet you're pretty handsome under those long bangs. Have you considered showing your face more? I'm sure you draw lots of attention. Timo frowns suspiciously as Joy begins reaching towards his forehead.
There's no need. Take your hand away.
Don't say that. Just let me try styling your hair a little. No thanks. Joy, however, isn't deterred by his blunt refusal. You shouldn't let such good looks go to waste. Michelle. He looks so scared. Timo sounds a bit frantic as he calls out to me.
I just remembered an article I wanted to see. Would you mind going to your room?
It's obvious from the look in his eyes that he's desperately pleading for help. that's a new expression for him. I smile to myself, then nod. Wow, it's so late already. I missed dinner. When I check the clock, I'm startled to see how late it is. I and Timo have read and occasionally exchanged ideas, and the next thing I realize, my first day off is coming to an end. Once I start reading research materials, I lose all track of time. It seems that Timo's the same way. I chuckle to myself and look over at Timo, who's sitting next to me. Oh, his appearance gives me a start. He's lying slumped back against the couch, with his reading material on his lap and his eyes closed. Looks like he's asleep. Even though he didn't have much stuff to haul, moving must have worn him out. I should put a blanket over him so he doesn't catch a cold. I fetch a blanket and gently start to lay it on top of him, trying not to wake him up. However, as I do, to my sudden astonishment, I find myself and the blanket wrapped in Timo's arms. Aw, he grabbed us. Her room is so cute, by the way. He just grabbed me. Is he still asleep? What do I do? I try squirming about, however, Timo's embrace is surprisingly strong, and I can't seem to escape. There must be some way I can free myself. My heart's racing. I'd sure hate to wake Timo up when he looks like he could use the sleep. It's nice and warm here in his arms. I suppose I can just sit here and wait until he shifts positions. I gradually grow more comfortable in his embrace, and without realizing it, I drift off to sleep.
Michelle.
Someone's calling out my name and gently shaking me. He continues calling out to me until I finally open my eyes. Oh, Timo! Timo's face fills my view. Suddenly, I'm wide awake. That's right, I must have fallen asleep while Timo had his arms around me. I feel my cheeks begin to burn. Timo appears equally distressed as he awkwardly glances around.
Sorry, it seems I fell asleep.
No, that's okay. I must have dozed off too. I mumble back in an attempt to hide my embarrassment. Timo takes a deep breath.
It won't make up for falling asleep in your room, but there's something I want to show you.
Oh?
I feel bad asking this on your day off, but would you be willing to visit the lab with me?
Although Timo's request catches me off guard, his bashful appearance draws a nod of agreement from me. Come to think of it, this will be my first time at work during off hours. Let's see, what should I wear?
Why don't you let me choose, since it was my request?
Oh, okay, thanks. At Timo's request, I show him my closet. I bet we're gonna get dressed up now. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Cleared. The Dolphin Center? Oh, it's so pretty. I blurt out in surprise when Timo informs me of our destination. I'm dressed in the clothing he picked out for me, and the two of us are in the institute.
Dolphins make some rather peculiar noises early in the morning.
They do? I've never even heard a dolphin in real life.
They're very talkative. Unfortunately, humans still have trouble comprehending a lot of what they're trying to communicate. However, in the early morning on a clear day like today, if you listen closely, you can hear their greeting calls.
Incredible! It sounds almost romantic. What a lovely photo! As I stand there staring at the dolphins, I feel Timo's warmth draw close to me. A moment later, he places his hand on my shoulder. We slept next to each other the whole night, didn't we? I can still remember the sounds of him breathing. The memory causes my heart to beat loudly. I lower my head as I begin to blush. He's standing so close. What if he actually manages to hear my heart beating?
Do you hear that?
Huh? Oh, I think so. It's kind of a fake, though.
Their voices are right at the upper limit of human hearing, but you should be able to make them out.
Wait, what was that? Just then, I faintly begin to hear a high-pitched squealing sound. Oh, you're right. It's like a high-pitched squeal.
Yes, that's it. Here they come. They're all coming to greet us.
So this is what their greeting sounds like. I glance over at Timo and suddenly realize how handsome he looks. His eyes are clearly visible under his bangs from this angle. When I see how enthusiastically he watches the dolphins, it slowly dawns on me. He may not show much emotion with humans, but he's always very kind with animals. He really loves them, doesn't he? I can even sense the kindness from the warmth of his hand.
What are you looking at me for? Look at the dolphins.
I am looking at the dolphins, but it seems that I just had a revelation about you too.
A revelation? You worry me sometimes.
It's true. I realized just now that you have a lot of respect for these dolphins and their intelligence.
That's pushing it. I'm simply interested in their ability to communicate.
If you say so. It'd be wonderful if we could understand dolphins, but frankly, I'm interested in understanding Timo. As a fellow researcher, I find him fascinating. It can be difficult to recognize Timo's compassion, but just like the dolphins' greetings, if you pay close attention, it's definitely there. Aw, what a cute moment. After a short visit, Timo and I leave the Dolphin Center. I'm squinting under the bright sunlight when suddenly I notice what looks like my childhood friend a short distance away. Oh, not Paul. Timo, that's Paul, isn't it?
Seems like it.
We both take a closer look. Any idea who he's with? Paul is talking to a man holding a camera. Their conversation doesn't appear very amicable. Ah, he's that other guy. Forget his name.
Listen, I have nothing to say to you. Would you please leave? Really, Dr. Morgan? There's no need to become upset. Just be sure and remember my name. Andre Lee.
I couldn't remember it. Sorry, Andre.
I promise you, I'll be back to see you again soon. It won't do you any good. I'm sure you'll change your mind. Until next time.
Paul glares angrily at the man, grins, and walks away. Then a moment later, he senses someone watching him from nearby.
Kayla.
And a smile returns to his lips as he mutters my name. So that's the end of the chapter. Look forward to the next one.
Kayla, is everything okay? I gather there's some stranger who approached Paul.
Yoo-hoo! Carlo, fix me something to eat. I'm starved.
Hey, Joy. What is it with you? Every time you see me, all you seem to ever talk about is love and food.
I can't help it. My stomach's empty after taking a peek at chapter 4.
Chapter 4? Already?
Yeah. I can't begin to describe the passion it's got packed into it.
Are you kidding me? Even though Kayla hasn't chosen her boyfriend yet?
Yep. And considering the way those two men chasing after her, oops, I can't tell you.
Okay, Joy, how about a trade? I'll make you something really tasty.
A trade, huh? Okay, quick, let's go into the kitchen.
Before I go, Kayla, watch your step in the next chapter. And if you need any help at all, I'm here for you.
Okay guys, that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys are excited for what's coming next in chapter 4, the passionate chapter. And after that, we'll officially be on Timo's route. I hope you guys are excited and thank you so much for watching. Bye!